Hi all, today we are going to see about the input and output statements in C program. So in C program, the commonly used input and output statements are scanf and printf. Here input means you are getting some data from the user. The only input device that we can use to give some inputs to the program is the keyboard. So normally user use this keyboard to enter some data that will get stored into the variable that is declared by the user in the program. For inputting the data in C language, the keyword that we normally use is scanf. When compiler see a scanf statement in your program, what it does is it waits for an input to be entered by the user through keyboard. That is, it would wait for the data from the keyboard. So when we write a scanf statement, we have to tell the compiler that to which variable the data should be stored and also what type of data is entered through the keyboard. So when you write a scanf statement, the syntax that we follow is you have a scanf statement with opening and closing bracket. In that closing bracket and the opening bracket, the first statement that you will give is the format specifier. Format specifier specifies what type of data you are going to enter, whether it's an integer data or it's a floating point value or it is a character or it is a string. So that is what you are going to enter first. That is the format that you are going to read the data from the user. And the second thing that you will give is the name of the variable to which the value should be stored. So when a user enter a data through keyboard, that data should get stored in a variable which is declared by the user. Now we should know what are the different types of format specifiers that you have in C language. So the different types of format specifier that you have in your C language is %d. That means you are going to read a integer value from the keyboard. If you write as a %f, it will read a floating point value from the keyboard. And if you give %c, it will read a character value from the keyboard. And you have %s, which is meant for string. So that is all we have for the input statement. Now we'll move to the output statement that we commonly use in C language, and that is printf. So in printf also you have an opening bracket and a closing bracket, and in that you can use double quotes. And in the double quotes, if you write any string, that string will be printed on the screen. So in the first syntax you can see printf double quotes string to be printed. So in your screen it will be printing string to be printed. But there are some cases that you have to print the value which is stored inside a variable. So if you want to display that particular value which is stored inside a variable, you can use the same output statement, that is printf, but when you display that variable you have to specify the format also there. To specify the format, we use the format specifiers. So in the next lecture, we will be seeing an example program which tells how to print a value into the screen and also how to read a value from the keyboard. That will be shown in the next lecture. Now we are moving to another kind of input statement and output statement that you have in C language, that is getchar and putchar. So when you use a getchar command, it will read one character from the user. So the format to get a character from the user is you can write a variable name that you are going to store that particular character, which is equal to getchar. So equal to, we all know it is an assignment operator. So what happens is whatever the value that you are reading from the keyboard, the character that you are reading from the keyboard, that value will be assigned to the variable C. If you want to print that value which is stored in the variable C into the monitor, you can use the keyword putchar. So if you write like putchar of C, it will display the value that you have inside the variable C in the screen. So that is another kind of input and output statement that you use in C language. And there is one more input output statement we use in C language. This is used to read strings from the user. Strings means collection of characters. So if you want to read strings from the user, we will use an input statement called gets, and if you want to display that string, you will go for the put statement. So if you write gets of a, means you are reading a string from the user and you're going to store that string into the variable named a. And if you want to display that string which is stored in a, you have to use the puts command. All these things we'll be seeing as example programs in the later sessions. So that these are the input and output statements that you use in C language. Thank you.